What another fantastic week to look forward to with the football.
Welcome to No Cap. It's Sol. The crew's back. Jacob, another call up, mate.
Thanks for having me, boys. Another privilege to be back here.
Just gotta keep that mic on, yeah. Betty, how are you, mate? Pleasure to have you again.
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, great, fantastic. And the Shisha King over here, the research guru. Welcome back, brother.
Thanks for having me, Sol.
Just
Good to be back, mate.
Yep, and need a bit of an inspired performance here from you.
Yeah,
So,
mate.
big game.
A few stats today, but we'll touch on that a bit later.
100%. And just before we get on to the topics, sad day in rugby league, obviously, with the passing of Tom Raudonikis, a legendary player for Western Suburbs and Newtown. Also, not many people know he played 10 years for Australia as a halfback. That's unheard of in any era. And also captained New South Wales on multiple occasions before State of Origin when it was interstate, and he was the first State of Origin captain. So, terrible news there. We probably know him more, obviously. We didn't grow up watching him. We weren't born, but we knew him from the footy show. You know, stints on there, you know, telling the players to harden up. You know, he was a character for sure.
Who doesn't love a good rev up from good old Tommy?
I mean, well, you know, you saw the videos of him slapping players in the sheds before games. You think it's a joke. No, it was not a joke. Like, that was legit. It wasn't for the cameras or anything. They did that every game back in the day. And I think, man, he's had a big influence on rugby league. There's a lot of things people don't know. Like, when it comes to Western Suburbs and Newtown, they were never relevant unless he was there. Like, when he played for Western Suburbs in the 70s, they won a minor premiership. And no one realises that. And they were one game from a grand final. When he left, they folded. They pretty much almost folded. And they were never the same again until he came back and coached them. And took them to the finals as a coach. Newtown did nothing, 50s, 60s, 70s. He comes in the 80s, within a year they're in a grand final. And then he leaves shortly after and they fold, never to be seen again in first grade. So he's had such a profound influence. When he's at a club, you know, they've always achieved success. He's always brought joy and happiness to them. That's it.
It was nice that he got to see Newtown win before.
The New South Wales Cup, of course. And when it comes to Australia, like I said, who's ever played halfback for 10 years straight for Australia? So we're pretty rare. I mean, and being the first New South Wales captain, even though they lost that game, he had such a massive influence on the culture of Origin. You know, he brought the hate. He really brought the hate. He hated Queensland so much. Like, it was like, it's beyond like reasoning. And he got to coach them as well. Won a series with them. Lost a series with them. And also, when I'm talking about the influence in the game, no one realises he's the one who brought Alfie Langer into prominence. Because when he retired, he coached Ipswich. He went to Queensland and coached Ipswich. He brought Alfie Langer to prominence. He's the one who convinced Wayne Bennett to pick him for Origin when he was a kid. And never looked back. He became one of the greatest halfbacks in rugby league history. And that was because Tommy brought him through. So
the only other halfback to play 10 years for Australia is no other than Cooper Cronk.
Well, there you go.
Played 38 games, 16 tries.
Yeah, good.
Well, Tommy played from 71 to 1980 with 20 games played, 2 tries. There you go.
Yeah, and he won World Cups with them 2 times, and he captained Australia as well. And he's done everything in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were never privileged enough to watch him play rugby league. We only really got to know him over the footy show, or, you know, those videos that you'd sort of see. But just from what we sort of saw, he's that sort of player that could lift a club just by his presence. And no wonder why he's spoken about as one of the toughest halves to ever play rugby league. And I think he took that into his coaching, as you saw, you know, in those pre-game videos when they're slapping each other in the sheds. Probably can't do that these days, but yeah, like he was definitely one of the toughest. And, you know, as a player, he's someone you definitely want to, you know, play alongside, and probably as an opposition, someone you'd fear. And as a coach, he's definitely someone you'd want to play for. So he will be sadly missed. You know, it was unfortunate. It was obviously a long battle he had, and I'm sure it's a sad day for all of rugby league because he was such an iconic character. Whether you're a Queenslander or a New South Welshman, like obviously you're gonna. He did play a big part in the game, and especially in Origin. You know, bringing that sort of divide. So,
Benny?
We're gonna miss a lot of Tommy with State of Origin and stuff because when Queensland had that dominant streak, he was always there to rev up our state, even win, lose or draw. He was the one there to rev him up, and we will miss him. May his soul rest in peace.
Well said, Benny. And if there's not a fight this week, I mean, honestly, there's not a fight this week in any game. I mean, come on. Anyway, you sweet. What's wrong? I'm dying.
That's all good, boys.
You can say whatever you want. You know, it's all edited anyway.
Yeah, that's all good. Go on.
Moving on. Have the rules gone too far, boys? Honestly. I mean, if you can... I'm just saying this for context here. I reckon more than half the teams have 8 players or more missing from their first round game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only round 5.
Yeah.
Surely
Well,
something's wrong here.
probably depends on who you support. You know, if you've got injuries aside, if you've got the good players, the quick players like, you know, your Roosters, Para, Penrith, Melbourne, even the Bunnies, like you can just see that great divide there is within the league. So when they come up across those weaker opposition, they're just blowing them out of the park, as you would have seen on the weekend. Yeah, but with the injuries, I think everyone sort of predicted this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And Peter V'landys even said, like, you know, if we need to change it, we will. So, like, we've probably never seen so many injuries before.
Not like this.
No.
And I'm talking about unforced injuries, like just accidents,
Yeah,
people
like
clashing heads,
Yeah.
concussion,
like even Luke Keary's injury, like...
and ACLs and all that.
That could happen any other year, but you'd sort of, with everything that's going on, it's just going to make you think that, you know, this is just because of how quick the game's going. And I don't know, I think it's slowly turning into touch football, and I think we probably, or the NRL have to definitely have another look at it. And probably have to slow the game down in a way, because yes, we want an enjoyable game, but when every player's out, you know, like what are you going to enjoy? Like,
who are you going to watch?
Yeah, that's why you watch the game, to watch those
Exactly.
stars. So I think it's something they're definitely going to have to look at, and probably look at soon before, you know, sort of come finals and you got no big names playing, and you know.
You're steaming, Benny, bro. What's wrong? Yeah, you think they should just adapt, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
Why?
It's time for change. Peter V'landys came in with the changes. It's sped up the game. It's made it faster. It's made it more kind of enjoyable to watch and see. When have you ever seen a player score 4 tries in 11 minutes, or like a player like Ryan Pappenhausen do what he's doing at Melbourne, or like Melbourne doing what they're doing to teams, or Roosters with the amount of injuries that they have, and serious injuries to some of their star players, and still be able to come up with the wins like they did over the weekend. Like Sam Walker's a young halfback and was able to play the game in the big time and come up with his first win on debut.
But not every club has those luxuries. Not every club has that depth. You know, and the thing is, I'm not even just talking about like the good teams alone can cover, yeah, like to a certain extent. It's the crap teams, and I don't want it to get to a point where there's continuous blowouts, and then the refs start, you know, bringing the good teams back down. You know what I mean? Penalising them for no reason, 6 again for no reason. Instead of like the crap teams trying to get up to their level. Do you know what I mean? We want a better product. We don't want a crap product. It's the struggling teams that I'm fearful of, because not only are they not playing well, they're running out of players to field. Look at Newcastle. How many players are out for Newcastle at the moment? I mean, they can kind of cover. They've got some players coming back, but their spine's gone pretty much. I feel like the game last year, the way it was being played was perfect. Yeah. Why are they trying to speed it up even more? it wasn't about speeding. Like, to me, it wasn't about speeding up the game. Like, it was about keeping the ball in play, keeping it continuous, keeping it rolling on. Let the game, let the boys, let the players dictate the speed. Let them control the tempo. Not the refs giving us 6 again every bloody 2 seconds. You know, making teams go away, and you know, not giving them a chance in the game. It's hard. It's hard if you keep conceding those 6 agains. You can't get into the game at all. You lose all faith in your ability to even compete.
Yeah, like
that's the problem.
You would have seen it on Friday, especially with the Dogs. Like, and it happened as well when they played Penrith the other week. Like, they can defend for so long, but eventually it's just going to get to a point where they can't. And once they let in 1 or 2 tries, they've got no more confidence, and
they don't want to play.
That's it. They've given up. And a lot of people will argue, well, field a better side.
You can't say that.
Yeah, but that's what people will say. Like the good teams, for example, they'll say, you know, field a better side. So, look, at the end of the day, it's probably something the NRL are going to have to look at.
I mean, look, Ben Hunt's come out and he's complained.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a broken leg. And he reckons because of this. Like, why wouldn't you want to listen to a player? He's the only one that's had the guts to come out and challenge the rules and say it's getting ridiculous. Like, if a prominent player like that is coming out and saying it, his team's winning. And it doesn't matter to him. Like, it's still bothering him because, again, it's getting to a point where, you know, by mid-year, you're going to be fielding New South Wales Cup players. Like, it's a joke. Research Guru, what do you think?
No, I'm just more so asking a question. What do you think? Like, what new rules did they implement? Do you think that's been a detriment to the game for this season, really, compared to last year?
It's the way it's been implemented. The 6 again. Why are they trying to speed it up even more? You know what I mean? Like, it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I have been seeing a lot more. Like 6 again, like set restarts more so than last year.
Yeah.
And not to be biased or anything, but less to the Dogs. Not saying that's why.
No, of course. But, like, what are they getting 6 against for? The referees don't have to say anything. They don't have to, like, get pulled up about it at all.
Yeah. You can probably hear them sometimes say it, but, like, you don't see refs give away that many penalties in a game before this rule was introduced. So, I don't know if they're just taking the mickey out of it. And I think just, like, the players on the field, once this is happening, they just forget what tackle count it is because they're that mentally exhausted. They just tackle whatever comes their way. So, that rule, maybe the rule when the ball goes out and they just play the ball instead of packing a scrum.
Yeah, I mean, again, how does that help a team? Like, again, it doesn't help them.
As a coach, you're telling your half kick it out because we want a bloody breather.
Yeah,
we're blowing hard here. Like,
yeah.
So, like, we need a breather, and I don't know. Like, I can understand that they're trying to, you know, speed up the game, trying to.
Yeah, but it's one thing to speed up the game, right? It's another thing for the refs to speed up the game, and then it's out of the players' control. You're not going to get a good game. Yeah, but they shouldn't. That's not the way the game's supposed to be played.
You'll get a good game when it's two good sides.
You get a good game, yeah, but you get a good game to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every week, like to the 40th minute, like we've seen. And then it goes away. Like the game Parramatta with Tigers, that was a really good game. Tigers found a way back into the game somehow. I think it was reffed well.
Yeah.
But you don't see there's no consistency. You know what I mean?
Right. We used to complain as fans about the game being too slow or players laying on the ground too long or playing the ball too slowly. But like, we gotta like give and take here and appreciate to where they've taken the game now. All right, probably we want it to brought down a notch, but
has to be.
But again, bring it down a notch. Don't take it back to where it was ages ago, because then players would abuse it.
I'm not saying that. It's just the way. Again, it's just about the officiating. Like talking about officiating, right? Now look at the 18th man rule. Yeah, how it got it's evolved over a week. Doesn't matter who the 18th man is now, as long as they're in the 21, right? And you can activate it if there's foul play, and then that player's out for the game, and then the ref has sin binned him. What ref's going to sin bin or send off someone now?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Without there being issues.
Look, I think as well. What I've seen in the past over the last few years, especially when the NRL implement new rules, I feel that refs, you guys can agree or disagree, tell me your thoughts anyway, but they seem to get really trigger happy with the new rules, and I feel like they over implement it throughout the game. What do you guys think?
Yeah, but because they do that, because they're not going to get questioned about it.
Yeah, because they're
You know they stopped counting 6 against after round 1.
Really?
They stopped counting 6 like on the stats. You can't see the stats. You have to watch it and mark it every time now.
Yeah.
Because there was scrutiny.
Oh, I think you might get the set restarts. I think I've seen it on Fox.
I think they've gotten rid of it.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about, but
Yeah.
apparently they've gotten rid of it. Like
Okay.
because they don't want the refs to be scrutinized or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah.
But the 18th man thing, that's going to put so much more pressure on refs.
Yeah, look, there was already pressure on refs to sin bin or send off someone. Like you'd see a player do something, and you're like, surely he's gone. But yeah, look, I don't know. I agree with the rule. Like if they've done a foul play and it's sort of knocked someone out, for example.
No, I agree with it. Yeah.
And mate, 100% bring an 18th man in because like you've done a foul play and. Like for example, like what you would have seen the other week with Kafusi, the way he went down.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that wasn't report. That was either sin bin or.
But say there, he didn't get sin bin.
That's right.
And so Parramatta would not have been able to activate that 18th man there.
I could be wrong, but I think Dallin, a few days later against Penrith High, shotted
2 days later, yeah. And he got sin bin. And they would have been able to activate that 18th man.
Yeah.
So what I mean, like they haven't even got that corrected, and now you're putting more pressure on them.
Yeah.
Look, somehow, some way, someone's gonna get clipped, like not even anything, and they're just gonna fall to the ground, the player, and pretend he's out. That guy's gonna get. I'm telling you, something like that's gonna happen.
Depends how good that player is. You know.
Like
if it's the halfback, you're not gonna milk.
Look,
I want to get back out there.
Look, I think there has to be something in there where if you're out, if you're concussed, or they've got to do 14 days. Because it's serious. It's such a serious issue, this concussion thing.
There is protocols in place.
But it's not really. But I say players come back the next week. I mean, that's happened. It has happened.
I think there's a 9-day.
There are processes in place, like
I know,
the
but
9-day rule.
But they got to. But if a player cops a head high or whatever, an elbow to the head, puts him out of the game, and it's serious, just to take away that diving factor, you know what I mean? There's got to, because there's somehow, some way they're going to get manipulated, this rule. That's the problem. Yep.
But I think that also comes down to the level of the concussion as well, because there's different levels of the concussion that you can get. If it's something that's minor that's going to get you out of the game, then personally I don't think you should be out 14 days, because at the end of the day, that means the team's losing and the player's losing as well. He's losing game time.
Yeah, but the seriousness of concussions these days, it has to be taken into account here.
Absolutely, and I think they have. I think they've just got to assess it by a case-by-case basis, and depending on whether it all depends on the seriousness of the concussion at the end of the day.
But a coach would tell a player dive if he had to dive.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not like a cover.
It'd be like in soccer when you're inside the box and people dive. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It'll get to that stage, and I think
70th minute in a finals game or state of origin game, you need the 18th man, a fresh guy there. Someone's taking a dive.
100%, and I think maybe they can implement something where it'd be up to the 60th minute or something, where after the 60th minute that 18th man is no longer eligible to play, but then there's always going to be...
It's hard to control that. It's hard to control that,
Exactly right.
Without getting any scrutiny.
Exactly right.
You can put any really nice, rule or, change to that rule, but there's always going to be issues with it. But anyway, we'll see how it pans out. That's all we can do. Yeah. Just quickly, you want to talk about an issue you've got, forced retirements?
Yeah, I don't like the...
You got a big beef with this. You've been hounding on about it for about when? You've been talking about it for about a minute? Yeah, go.
I don't like how teams have been forcing players into retirement. I reckon...
Like who?
Like the Jake Friend,
Jake
What do you
Friend.
mean you don't like it?
or Greg Inglis. Greg Inglis got forced to retire in 2019. All right, and now we're seeing him play in the Super League 2 years later. Like, if you let him heal up a bit, you would have had him back on the park. All right, probably Sam Burgess's
I think Greg Inglis had more issues going on in his personal life.
But I think I've got an issue with that too, because that freed up a certain amount of cap space for them to sign certain players, and it kind of was bullcrap, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think there was a bit of a shifty dealings going on there.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know for sure, but you're saying that. But so you're claiming that Roosters are forcing Jake Friend to retire?
Yeah, and I got a feeling that Cowboys are going to do the same thing to
Michael Morgan.
I reckon Roosters by the end of the year might do it again to Boyd Cordner just to free up cap space as well.
Yeah, but these are two senior players for them. Like, they wouldn't want to lose them if they didn't have to. At the end of the day, like, Jake Friend's coming towards the back end of his career.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And you got to do what's best for their health. Like, they're still 30-something. Imagine having to deal with brain damage or whatever it may be for the rest of your life.
But he's got a point in the sense of, if those guys went and in 2 years went and played Super League, then there's some cause for concern there. It's like, what was that about? You know what I mean? Like, even Greg Inglis, I don't understand why he's playing.
Well, did
he medically retire?
Yeah, he medically retired.
Yeah.
What was the reason?
Shoulder injury and bad mental health to come back to the game.
Nah, I don't think the mental health thing is a factor there.
But obviously the player has to agree to it too.
So if the player agreed to it and then comes back 2 years later, there's something sus happening.
Why
there.
wouldn't he agree to it?
That's a bit sus. It's a bit sus.
He's getting paid out his full contract. Why wouldn't he agree to it?
It's a little sus, I think. And
Cordner,
and look, I don't mind his skepticism, because Cordner is on good money probably.
Of course he
is.
And Friend's on good money.
Yeah.
So
that's now gonna free up cap space for Uncle Nick to play with.
He's like, no, I don't think Cordner's gonna retire. I think they're just really worried about him.
They are worried about him, but he's out for.
No, but his concussion symptoms. It's the concussion symptoms that he's been having.
Well, Roosters already have their backup replacement in.
Roosters have a backup team for the next 10 years ready to go.
Yeah.
So, like, trust me, they're not looking. They're not trying to medically. I don't think they'll be the last team to medically retire someone for cap space. Like, they've got everything intact, I think. But anyway, we'll see what happens. That's all we can say. Just quickly before we get into the preview, South Sydney. Are they dumb? Are they stupid? Honestly, why have they not resolved the Adam Reynolds situation?
They have come to the table. They've offered him a 2-year deal at 1.4 mil.
South?
Yeah, and he still said no.
Well, you know what?
So there's more to this that
I heard it's only 1 year.
Yeah, there was an article that came from Fox Sports about 2 hours ago. We all know how reliable Fox Sports can be, but they came out saying they offered him a 1 year deal at 700,000.
Yep.
But Reynolds wants a 3 year deal, and
I think Reynolds.
I don't think the money's the concern.
Well, you said 2 year deal.
Yeah.
So Souths gave him a 2 year deal.
2 year 1.4. What do you mean?
I mean, you can say no. You can say something.
What do you mean? No,
Ben is shaking his head and saying no. Tell us your thoughts, Ben.
Don't we have the research guru here for a
reason? Can we get this up and running here, brother?
Mate, I've got it all up, and I'm trying to get my point across, but we've got Ben here just shaking his head.
He's not happy, mate. It's not correct.
He's not happy with what Jacob's saying, but what they're saying here, again, it's coming from Fox Sports.
That's okay.
So
do you have the article
offered him
about
a 1 year deal.
Yeah, I heard the 1 year deal.
The 1 year
I heard
deal
the 1
at
year deal.
700,000.
Souths finally came to the table with a 2 year, 1.4 million offer, but Reynolds still knocked it back and will now go to the market.
Who's that from?
Fox League.
All right, you know what? But you know what? Why didn't
so
I believe it. I believe it, and I didn't see that article. But I just want to say, fair play to him, because why didn't they come out with that contract last week? Yeah. What stopped them giving him a contract last week when he was just asking for a 2 year deal? Why did it take all this crap to get to this point now? Because this could derail their season for me.
I don't think it will.
I think he's going to be really shitty with them.
I don't think so, because if he's coming off contract this year and he needs to play for another contract, he's looking for another club.
He was never looking for another club. He wanted to stay.
That.
He wanted to stay at South.
Of course he does.
He's a premiership winning halfback there. I actually don't get. It's disrespectful. It's very disrespectful to someone like that who's been there for nearly 10 years to treat him like that. And then now, after all that crap, I mean, tell me I'm wrong here. After all that, you know, he's begging them for a 2-year deal. Then they finally come to the table. Of course, he's going to knock it back. He's going to ask for more money. Of course, he's going to go to the market.
100%. Yeah, I don't know. Wayne Bennett's even come out and said,
well, he's going. He's going.
Yeah.
So, because I heard a rumour that, what do you call it, Bennett was going back to Brisbane for a second and then he knocked that back. Who knows if Bennett's telling the truth, to be fair.
Yeah, his mate's taken over, isn't he?
He's leaving 100%, but there was a speculation that if he's going back to Brisbane, maybe he's taking Adam Reynold with him.
If he leaves this year with a premiership ring, does he go down as the greatest coach of all time?
No doubt. 3 different clubs, yeah.
Brisbane,
St. George and
St.
South.
George and South, and got close with Newcastle in the prelim.
Yeah, there's no doubt for me he'd be the greatest, yeah.
And multiple times with Brisbane too.
Yeah. 6, so.
But back to Reynolds for a sec. So, I didn't read it properly, but...
Mate, we pay you, really big money.
Not 700,000 a year, but...
Mate, close to it.
Close to it, right. But they've put forward a 1-year offer with an option to extend to 2023 in the club's favour. So maybe that's what's holding him back.
Oh, there you go. There.
Maybe because he doesn't get the option to extend.
Here we go. He's not in approval here.
There we go. He's not in the approval.
Extend it.
Benny's not in approval. Benny, do you have comments, brother? I want to hear your comments about this. What do you mean, no? Take the mic.
Take the mic, mate.
So, yes, it is disrespectful for South to treat a player with the stature of Adam Reynolds like that. He's the one that broke their drought of a premiership. And
him by himself, was it?
Yes, he did.
Him by himself.
Yeah, so...
Greg Inglis was playing netball that year.
Yes, keep going.
So, I reckon, like, them dragging this out for this long...
Where's he going? Where do you think he's going then?
You're
the oracle. You tell us. Where's he going?
He's not going to the Cowboys, is he? I would stay at Souths for half a year, then go to the Cowboys for 3 years.
I wouldn't go there.
All right, so I don't think he's going Cowboys.
Where is he going?
Wayne Bennett's heading back to Brisbane.
But
it's
who?
not to the Broncos.
Where's it to?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
The second team are not starting next year. So what's he going to do for a year?
Sit back and recruit.
He's going to sit back and recruit.
So you're saying by the time that a new team comes in, Adam Reynolds will be halfback for that new Brisbane team
with a year off.
With a year off.
I doubt he's going to take the year off. I reckon he'll come to the table towards the end of the year
and play one more year at South, and then go to Brisbane, that new Brisbane team. Okay, well you heard it here first. I mean, breaking news.
I don't know if I believe that, Ben. But
breaking news, boys. Breaking news.
They don't call me the Oracle for nothing.
Hey, mate, we'll see. We'll see, man. Let's get straight into round 5. Speaking of those two teams, Souths and Brisbane, they take each other on Thursday night football.
I reckon everyone's going to get a full round this week if they vote with their head rather than their heart.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is pretty easy. It was pretty easy last week. I think I got 7 from 8. I think I got Newcastle wrong.
Yeah.
So I think that was a bit of a... That was a hard one. I got 8 from 8. Did you? Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I missed one of my tips, but I was going to tip.
That doesn't count, mate. That doesn't count. You missed one of your tips. Nah, mate. I'm not copping that. I'm not copping that, mate. South Brisbane. Mate, we're going, mate. I've had enough of you, all right? South Brisbane. Cody Walker's out. Marshall goes to 6. Souths are winning for sure, yeah?
It's a matter of how much.
Yeah. South.
I got him 24 plus.
24 plus.
That's a new one.
Is that a option?
It's a new one.
Is that an option now? Okay. All right. Friday night. Warriors, Eagles. Warriors, Adam Reynold-Blake's out for a while. That's a big loss. Tom's still not back for Manly. I think Manly might give him a game.
So do you reckon Manly can give it to him?
I think Manly will give him a run for their money, but I don't think they're going to win ultimately.
Nah, Warriors on that. 100%.
Yeah,
I
same here.
think the
Yeah.
game of the round's the next game.
Yeah. Next game, I'm looking forward to Penrith, Canberra at Panther Stadium. Penrith unchanged. Canberra, Tapani comes into the side. This is a tough one. This is going to be the toughest one to pick for me. Canberra's shown under the radar somewhat that they're still a heavyweight in this competition. Penrith's just been flying as usual. It's crazy. I think Canberra might be a chance.
Yeah, 100%. You can never write them off. They are a quality side from 1 to 13. Well, across the park, they're a quality side.
Why are you laughing over there?
I'm not laughing.
You got to remember, their 5'8" was a Dally M last year.
Yeah.
Their dummy half is probably one of the top,
Dummy halves in the game.
Yeah. So they and look at their fullback. So that they're well sort of balanced. Sutton's going well. So he's earned himself a starting spot for now. Papali'i also,
He's on fire.
We know what he can do, and Whitehead's a freak as well. And I saw with Tapine coming back, mate. They are going to be hard to beat. Obviously, playing at Penrith's always going to be a hard game. It won't be an easy game. It won't be an easy game for Penrith. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar to what happened when Penrith played Melbourne the other week.
Yeah, 100%. I think Canberra matches them in the forwards. I think that's 100%. I think in the backs, Penrith's probably, they're missing a few there. But, I mean, like I said, they're cruising. They look a bit more sharper than Canberra. Canberra's still, attacking-wise, still coming together, still trying to put it together. I think I'm going to just go Canberra. I'll go Canberra by 2. Benny?
I'm going to go Penrith by 6.
Penrith by 6, you reckon? Yeah, I might have to follow you.
There you go. The Oracle speaks again. Saturday afternoon, Gold Coast, Newcastle. Newcastle got a bunch of injuries, but Carlin Ponga's back. That's a big in for them.
Yeah, massive boost for them.
Oh yeah, and Watson goes to 6. Blake Green comes into the starting side, so they've covered well for the amount of injuries they copped last week in the spine.
But is that enough to win them the game against an on fire inform
Gold Coast?
I think so. Like,
yeah,
when we talk about the Titans, we think straight away to their forwards. You're coming up Saifidi, you're coming up against Clemmer, you're coming up against an informed Barnett, and we know what Frizzell can do. So it'll be evenly matched in the middle, that's for sure. It's whether Watson and Green can get going. It'll be a good game. Obviously, they're sort of equal in the backs as well. Obviously, Brimson's having a great year again, so I think it comes down to the halves here.
I reckon it's going to come down to the fullback.
Well, Brimson and Ponga, this is Ponga's first game, isn't it?
Ponga's first game back.
And they're fighting for...
Brimson's probably got the advantage at the moment.
And they're both fighting for the Queensland starting.
Yeah, it's coming. It's pretty close. It's fast approaching Origin. But I think the main thing is trying to get that win because it's one of those games where both teams think they can take it. I'm gonna go Titans just.
Yeah, I think Titans.
Yeah.
Just based on the halves and also playing at home.
I'm gonna go with Titans 18 points.
Blowout.
Bulldogs Storm. Do we even
Roosters Sharks? Just
let's move on.
Hold on. We didn't address one thing.
What happened?
Our dog's going to score this week.
That's a good point.
A point or a try?
Mate, do you know what? I'll take a point. I'll take a field goal. I'll take a field goal at this point.
Look, if we get a penalty shot in front, we're taking the 2 this time.
What if we're 20 down or 30 down? Do we still?
Nah.
That's just a bit silly. That's when you become the laughing stock of the league.
Well, 100%. But I think they need to score at least a try this
Nah, you
week.
know what? Sack it. I think we'll score against Melbourne. I think we'll
How?
score one try.
Who?
Look, all right, you know what? They got a decent forward pack this week, Canterbury. All right?
I suppose with Thompson coming back.
Yeah, and Jackson comes back into the side. And the back line looks a bit more balanced. Cotry back to the wing, Allen to the centres, Watene-Zelezniak's back, Avrila's back.
Avrila should not be playing at 6. Simple as that.
Yeah, he
should be wearing that number 3 jersey.
Yeah, he should be either there or coming off the bench.
I'd say maybe put Allen on the wing if you want. Drop Katoa and put Avrila in the halves. At centre. But the only thing is, obviously with Lewis out, who do you bring in? Wakeham possibly.
Look, I think Look, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of Wakeham, I think it deserves a shot. Deserves a shot at 6
I think
because we've done nothing for 3 weeks. Like surely you would have played him instead of Averillo, or put Averillo off the bench.
Are you gonna still do chopping and changing of the squad?
Mate, we can't score a try, mate.
Like, can it get worse?
I mean, we can't score a try, buddy.
So.
I mean, Anyway, move on.
It's not like we're going to wreck our form by chopping and changing.
I mean, I wonder who's going to go dogs at $13. Anyway,
move on.
If you go 13 plus, I think they're paying 80 something. So get behind that.
Get behind that. Put $5
plus into.
Put $100 on it.
$100. Roosters, Sharks straight after. Roosters. It looks like nothing happened to them last week.
I thought they were going to struggle against the Warriors.
Yeah, you did. I told you. I told you Roosters would win.
I thought Warriors would turn up. They did for a bit, but I think based off last week, I can't see anyone stopping the Roosters. Yeah. So look, when Verrills is coming back, because they can do with a dummy half.
Well, his injury's been extended for another 9 weeks.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, last week that came
due
out.
to the infection of the wound of the ACL.
Thank you, Massage Guru.
You too.
So yeah, Roosters for me.
Yep.
Yeah, same here.
Sunday afternoon, West Tigers, North Queensland. West Tigers are really impressive last week. I did pick them to beat Para, and I reckon they got unlucky last week. That was a sus second last try from Para. I think it was offside, to be honest, but offside one.
If his back foot's in line, then it's playing.
Oh, sorry, it was a 4-pass. It was a 4-pass. Sorry.
Are you talking about the Gutherson?
Yeah,
that was a kick.
Yeah, the kick
From
was a
Fergo?
kick. Yeah, it was a kick. Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah, look, Tigers showed me a lot last week against Para. They were gallant in defeat. North Queensland, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. No,
They've got Tamalolo back
nothing.
this week.
At least they're not making the dogs look too bad.
They've got Tamalolo back this week. What do you reckon?
What's he going to add to this team?
He'll add a bit of punch through the middle, whether that lifts the forwards or not, we don't know. But that's what we're having with Thompson at the Dogs.
And he's not being used the way they want to use him is completely wrong to me. But
I don't know about having Hampton at halfback. I'm pretty sure he was a winger once upon a time. I think he's played everywhere, this bloke. But
yeah. I just think the Tigers are more settled.
I think it's another Kieran Holland.
Can do Mr. Fix It.
I think Tigers are more settled at the moment.
100%.
And
the only question I have for Tigers, should Mbai be at number 4?
I don't think he should be in the team.
He's
Personally.
getting paid $100,000 a year.
He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there.
You're going to play him at reserve grade?
Ship him to England.
If that's what's best for the team to win a game, I don't care if he's on $10 million a week or a year. You want to win games. And if he's not playing up to standard, see you later. You're going to take the money regardless whether you play or not.
I reckon his next move is to the Cowboys.
Another Oracle. Another Oracle.
The Dogs will probably sign him.
Yeah, Jacob Little's been good. Research guru. You've had some success there in Supercoach, huh? He's loving Supercoach. He's like
week 1, week 2, and week 4.
And plus, the Tigers are playing for Tommy. So, I mean,
Course,
so that's another
100%.
big thing for them. Tigers by a lot. Yeah. All right, in last game, Parramatta, St. George.
I reckon good old Ryan Madison might be back this week.
He was ruled out just prior last week, wasn't he? So, he probably will be back. St. George is just impressing me, man. I know people are saying, Newcastle were depleted, but the Dragons brought it to them. They bashed them. You know what I mean? They asked for the challenge, and Newcastle just buckled, whether anyone likes it or not. To me, I think they've got some steel in them, man. They can give Para a run for their money.
But can they handle their forward pack?
They've been playing well, man. They've been playing well with the Dragons. Their 4-pack's been playing very well.
Okay.
Tarek Sims has come back to form as well.
But you're looking at one of the best forward packs.
No, I'm not saying they're going to win.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm not like if I saw this game prior to the season, I'd say Parramatta by 30. You know what I mean? But now I'd say Parramatta by 6 or 8. St. George's not going to go away here.
I reckon 14.
To win at Newcastle in front of what looked like a packed sort of stadium.
Yeah, of course.
Without your starting halfback.
Yeah.
Look, I know Newcastle obviously had a few players ruled out during the game, but
I'm saying that was because of the Dragons. They gave it to them. They
right.
bloody bashed
That's
them,
right.
man. Like,
and they won't be an easy beat on Sunday. They will
Yeah.
come out firing, and they sort of want to end Parramatta's winning streak. So it's definitely a great way to sort of wrap up the round.
100%.
And it's going to be a tough game, but I think Parramatta might just
No, they'll win. Yeah.
scrape home.
I think
I
Parramatta...
wouldn't say with so much confidence,
No,
but I'd say
no.
they might just scrape home.
No, but I think Parramatta's way... they're going to another level at the moment. Like, I hated them last year for a reason, because they couldn't beat any top team. Like, they'd be in the fight, but then they'd fade away. And now they're taking care of the hard teams. They're taking care of, the tricky teams and the easy teams. Like, they figured it out. It's just whether or not they can stay healthy now. That's the key here for Parramatta. But they'll be a real challenger at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So we're going Para? Benny, yep, Para.
Yeah, 100% Para.
All right. That's about it, boys. Actually, Benny, you know what? We'll leave it to next week.
No, let's do it now.
All right. Benny Confidential here. Mate, which superstar have you bumped into?
I've bumped into the Bulldogs' injured winger, Jaden Ockenball,
Okay, yeah.
on Easter Saturday
Okay, right.
at Mount Pritchard at Albury Cash Oval.
Okay, well, what happened there? How's the conversation there?
Just asked him how the recovery is to the post ACL surgery and what's going on with the team and stuff like that, and when he's due to be back. And he goes towards the last few rounds of the season. So,
Are you sure?
yeah.
I thought it was about round 10.
I mean, he knows everything, this bloke. So
If he's told you face to face, well, you obviously got to take that. Let's just try to play mind games if you.
anyone famous you massaged this week during work or?
No.
Let him think.
He's just going to make up some bullshit.
Benny, which famous person did you massage this week? Anyway, that's it. Thanks. Appreciate it, Benny. Thank you, Jacob.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you,
No
Ben.
worries, Sol.
Just let me finish that sentence. Thanks, Research Guru.
Cheers, mate.
All right. Enjoy the footy. See you next week.
Cheers, boys.